Was I the only one stoked that McDonald's brought back their buckets again? Just me? Okay. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode brought to you by Backyard Zombie, and it is the end of 2023. What a year. And just like Tested, I like to do this little version of my favorite things, so I talk about stuff I've either bought, built, acquired, watched, consumed, and I love doing this video last year, so I'm going to continue doing this. So I thought I would talk about all the things that really stood out to me and for the channel and just my life for 2023. So, let's get started. So, one of the big things we did this year, my girlfriend and I and my father, we actually went to New York City to visit some of my relatives. And while we were there, Megan got to experience her first Broadway show. I am from the lovely Garden State, so I've been to Broadway several times, but I really wanted her first Broadway experience to be very special, because I remember my first Broadway experience. And so she was dead set on seeing Sweeney Todd and the Demon Barber of Fleet Street starring Josh Groban. And this show was just such an experience. This is the program from the show. And we got to see Josh Groban and Anna Leigh Ashford. I hope I'm saying that right. And she stole the show as Mrs. Lovett. She was phenomenal. But seeing the show was a lot of fun. And I got to be in the room with Gavin Matarazzo from Stranger Things. And that was such a cool experience. And I love Sweeney Todd. If you watched our Sweeney Todd prop video, I actually talk about the Josh Groban production, and building those razors was actually really cool, and it really got us hyped for Sweeney Todd and the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Sadly, Josh Groban and Anna Leigh are leaving the show, but now Aaron Tveit and Sutton Foster are taking over, and that's super exciting. We were actually talking about maybe going to Broadway again, but we might strive to see Darren Criss and Evan Rachel Wood in Little Shop of Horrors. But this was such a cool experience, and it was such a great time seeing Sweeney Todd. So in my favorite stuff of 2022, I talked about how I love coffee table books. And I do, I love coffee table books, but this year, especially with the move and focusing on other stuff, I didn't really acquire a lot of coffee table books. Megan and I like going to local bookstores, especially like used bookstores, and we were able to pick up a couple of things, but nothing really stood out that I wanted to show you guys, except one book I pre-ordered like 3 months in advance. And that is Halloween, the official making of Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. Now, whether you like this series, whether you don't like this series, I love Halloween 2018. I thought Halloween Kills was great, and I thought Halloween Ends, though lacking in some stuff, I thought it was a great movie to kind of like finalize their version of their trilogy. And this book, having this giant coffee table book where they go into detail about the making of all the films, talking about tons of stuff. I'm gonna try to find like some pictures, like behind the scenes stuff. It was just so cool to have all of this, this information about, especially if you liked these movies. I do recommend picking up this book if it's still available. I got mine on Amazon, and it's so cool. And I think Megan and I were talking about going to a convention, and I think I might take this, and I would really like to meet James U. Courtney or Craig Nelson to sign this book as a really cool memento and have it autographed. I think that'd be really, really cool. But this was my favorite coffee table book of the year, and that is The Making of Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. And as you can see, this book is huge. So yeah, this was my favorite book of the year, hands down. So I am a sucker for Ryobi tools. As you can see, I have a lot of Ryobi tools, but my favorite tool that I got this year was their Dremel. And this thing helped me so much with the Elf on a Shelf video, making that the box this year. And this thing is so cool. It feels like a pencil in your hand. Really great for carving. I actually worked on a commission for a custom mask later, like a couple of weeks ago, and this was the tool I turned to mostly to make that project. It has a great cutting wheel. It's got a lot of great accessories. So this was one of my favorite tools that I got during this year, and I love Ryobi. And during Christmas, I actually was gifted 2 different saws that I'm very excited to add to this, and it's going to really like up my game of woodworking. So I'm very excited to add those. But this was my favorite Ryobi saw, my favorite Ryobi tool. Sorry. And then another tool that I added to my kind of collection is not really a tool for making stuff, but a tool for filmmaking. and that is one of these, which is the Sunfo RGB video light, and I use this for Elf on a Shelf. I've used it for taking some pictures, and this thing is just an awesome compact little light. Got this on Amazon, retails for about $40. I'm probably gonna add 3 more to my collection because having these on set was so beneficial, because when I was working with Miles while he was around, he has these really great lights. I have just studio lights, but eventually I hope to invest in some nicer like set lights. But this, to have on set, especially when it's all dark and you're only shooting in different colors, especially when I was filming with Levi as Santa or in the kitchen with everybody, I was using these, and I have it on a low setting, but this thing has a bunch of LED lights in it. It gets very bright, and I can show you on camera how bright this bad boy can get. It gets very, I don't know how it's looking on the camera right now, but as you can see, it gets very bright, and then it can also get very dark indeed. And you can use this for photography, you can use this for videography, but it's got a great battery life, and this is a fantastic little light to invest in. So I might throw this in the link down below, so I'm saying it, so I'm gonna do it. I'll throw this in the link down below. This is a great light, and it's a great little tool that I've added to my setup. And then one of my favorite toys that I got, and yes, I said toys because I am a man child. This Christmas I asked for one specific thing. I wanted it basically since I saw the picture of it, and it was from Megan. She got this for me for Christmas. This is the Pit Witch from Army of Darkness, and it's made by Toy NK. I want to say, I call it Tonk Toys, but this is my little Pit Witch from Army of Darkness, and I love this little guy so much. It's so ugly, and it's from Army of Darkness, so it makes me really happy as an Evil Dead fan. And this thing, I knew when I opened it under the tree, I was so excited. I was like, my Pit Witch is here! So if you were a big Army of Darkness fan, I would definitely recommend adding this guy to your collection. It is just as cute as like the Ashy Slashy puppets, and it just makes me so happy as a fan of the franchise. So definitely my little Pit Witch. So I made a lot of stuff this year on the channel for props and stuff for like our short films, and I was very fortunate to make a lot of cool content for you guys. Probably my most successful video for like building something was the Talk to Me hand, which wasn't as good as my later commissions, but it was kind of cool just showing you like, hey, take what you got and make it work for you. And that was like my mummified hand. I actually have it there on my shelf over there. But my favorite props, and I narrowed it down to 2 because there was quite a lot. Number 1 is Stephanie. Having Stephanie just makes me, as a fan of Evil Dead, very happy. And this thing is such a cool conversation piece that I have the Stephanie from Evil Dead Rise, and it's actually quite... It's there, it's accurate, but it's not, of course, the same molded head, but having this thing, and it's basically to scale, makes me so happy, and I went with the bloody version, and you can watch in the video, I went bloody, and this thing is so fun. And then one of my favorite things I did for you guys was my Universal Monster videos. I made Big Frank, I did the rehaul for that. I made my Vampire Killing Kit, which is, it's under construction again. I may have broke something. I don't want to get into that, but the coolest thing I built for that was my Bracelet of Anubis from The Mummy Returns, worn by the Scorpion King and Alex in the movie, and I love this thing. It looks great for when I made it back in, I believe, July, August, and it looks great on a shelf. People have pointed out, like, is that the bracelet from the Mummy? I'm like, yeah, you should watch my video, because I made the bracelet from the Mummy, and this thing is so freaking cool. And yeah, these are some of the favorite props I've made this year. Besides everything I made for Evil Elf on the Shelf too, the box especially. But these just, for me, just stand out. Another thing that I was actually really excited and fortunate to get for 2023 was my new studio. I'm very fortunate to have a really supportive partner who loves what I do and is always super supportive of that. And so she gave me this area in the basement to be mine. It's my little safe haven. And I think she just likes when I come down here and leave her alone so she can watch her Miami Dolphins play. But I come down here and I can just lose myself for hours, and this space is it's so cool, and I cannot wait to give you guys a full tour. I have one little project under construction. I'm putting another countertop over here in the corner, and once that is done, which should be in a few weeks, I'll do a full tour setup, because this is basically a giant L. It's like a 90-degree, but I have a lot of space for storage, my tools, a space to be like very creative, and I'm very fortunate to have that. And so I want to thank Megan for that, for giving me this space, as this used to be just a concrete wall, concrete floor with a lot of spider webs. And she said, go crazy. And I'm like, okay, hold my beer. So I love how this space has come out, and in the rafters there's stuff, on the walls there's tons of stuff. There's tons of stuff to look at. As some people say, it looks like a toy store and a Home Depot and a Halloween store all like came together for this amalgamation of just craziness and chaos. And there's always something to look at, so you can just be like, what is this? But I'm very fortunate to have this space. So this is probably my favorite thing of 2023 that I got. So very blessed, very fortunate, and it's super cool. So yeah, those were just some of my favorite things of 2023. I'm so excited for what 2024 is going to bring. I already had a commission, several commissions this year for Talk to Me Hands, custom masks, and I'm doing a collab with another YouTube channel, and that we'll talk about that during the new year, but I've already just shipped out all the stuff for that collab, so I can't wait to talk to you guys about that. And I'm very excited for what the new year is going to bring. I'm thinking a lot of cool product reviews, a lot of new props, and maybe I'm just going to try to change it up, dabble into other things, other honeypots of my interests. So I'm very excited to be able to do that for you guys, and hopefully take you guys along for the ride. So be looking forward to episode 6 of Playing in the Backyard for our making of our Evil Elf on the Shelf Sleigh Ride Massacre video. And thank you guys so much for the views on that bad boy. It really makes Christmas way more magical to share those videos with you guys, our second one. And then a shop tour, and I think we're going to do some more Evil Dead. I'm still working on this Evil Dead dagger video that's more of like a DIY / cost-effective way to make an Evil Dead dagger for y'all, and I've already hit some roadblocks, but once I have everything, I'll be able to show how much it's going to cost you guys, what you're going to need, and I'm very excited to make that video for you guys. So yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this kind of content, well, like and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel, and to all my new subscribers, hi, welcome to Backyard Zombie. And yeah, so stick around, because 2024 is going to bring a lot of cool stuff to the channel, and I hope you are blessed. I hope you have a great New Year's Eve or a New Year's Day, and I hopefully will see you in the next video. Also, now that the strike is over, can I have Interview with the Vampire Season 2? I'm starting to get I'm having withdrawals, man. I need Season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. Please and thank you. AMC, looking at